Hi, Carl again from selfsufficienthub.com, and today we're going to be looking at how to use a compost toilet. So at the top end of our property here, we've got chickens, what will be some food ponds, and up behind us we've got what will be my food forest. Eventually, we've got lots of fruit trees and stuff growing there, but we're quite away from the house. So up here, we've got a piece of woodland behind me here, which contains our camp. I don't know if you can see in the distance behind me, over there, one of my tents, but that's our little camp. So we built up here, because it's such a distance from our house, we built a compost loo. Now, the weather's not great today. It's a bit rainy. Oh, it's a lot rainy on and off. But as you can imagine, when you're camping, it's nice to have a toilet. So the camp's just down there. That's the tent there in the background. And behind me is the compost loo. So while it's handy to have when we're camping, it's also great for the garden and great for sustainability. So if you're working towards living off grid, if you're just trying to reduce your footprint, if you're trying to reduce your waste, it's a great thing to have. So this is our compost loo. So it's got just a timber building, timber roof, and if we come inside, so I've used it to store some nails and fixings from whatever project I was doing up here last time I got hit by rain. But it's really quite simple. It's just I built it on a pallet. So at the bottom there is a big pallet that the whole thing is built off of, and I used some upright timbers in the four corners. I haven't even used full lengths, and some of them I've used just bits of tree. But any kind of framework will do. And got a bird's nest up there, which is lovely. And just some really thin WBP ply. WBP means weather and boil proof, so it's going to be fine in the rain. It's not going to rot too quickly. It won't last forever, but it's not going to rot too quickly. And a couple of repurposed hinges for the door rather. And my plan is we're going to put I'm actually going to switch the door, make the door a bit lower, cut the top off so that I can fit some guttering through here, because what I want is guttering to feed into a little water catchment bucket here, which is then going to feed down into a tap and a little sink here on the wall, just a gravity fed water tank with a tap here and some soap. And you can use just regular loo roll, anything that's going to biodegrade, and then your toilet, which just goes down into a 5 litre bucket. Now, the 5 litre bucket we access from the back, in behind there, with just 2 screws holding that in place. And then when it's full, you empty that onto a compost pile. Now, it's called human manure, and it's really, really simple. So what you do is you use it just like you would your usual toilet, but instead of flushing it with water, use a carbon-based natural product, something like ash or sawdust or wood chip, anything like that is great. You put that on top and it keeps the smell down. You don't get the smell that people might assume you would have with a compost toilet. You really don't. And you just put that on top of the waste product and you let that go until it fills up the bucket, and then you take that bucket and you add it to a compost pile. Now you have a separate compost pile from your usual compost pile, because you want to leave it about a year to biodegrade, after which time what you've got is really, really great nitrogen rich compost ready for your garden. So It's a really fantastic, sustainable way of reducing your waste by not wasting all that clean water that we use in our toilets in our houses and things like that. Now, when it comes to the soap that we're going to put in here, we're going to use a natural soap that we make from horse chestnut trees, and that's going to be my next video, is showing you that. But if you use a natural soap that doesn't need to be that doesn't contain any nasty chemicals, then obviously that's not going to hurt going in your compost. So there you go, my compost loo. So as always, if you find these videos valuable, there's several ways you can support them. The easiest is to leave a comment down below, press that like button. Please do subscribe to our channel. I put videos out like this pretty much on a weekly basis, a bit more frequently than that usually. I cover all sorts of topics, from animal husbandry, raising your own food, growing vegetables, foraging for mushrooms, bushcraft, all that kind of stuff. So do subscribe. So I've just finished shooting our compost loo video, and look what I found down here. This little guy, which, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be a St. George's mushroom. Yes, indeedy. Great little edible.